The Hangout is live. Hey guys, another podcasting here, Geeking Out, episode 5. Today, the special guest. I don't know. I've been thinking, should there be like a rule for how many times you can work together, like at different jobs? Because if
No.
we do it again, it's a little much, isn't it?
I,
But anyway, Dory's here. Hi, Dory.
I don't know how to quit you. Boom, bro fist. Isn't that like the YouTube?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Uh,
I guess it is.
Well,
How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Great to be here. Kinda.
And and you saw a film that I also saw that I'm just gonna like place a bet now saying I think you liked it.
Well,
It seemed to be your kind of thing.
those aren't Vegas odds that anybody would bet against. Yes, I really enjoyed it. Of course, Mad Max Fury Road, and I mean I've been waiting for this forever.
Yes.
I mean,
And we have Lauritsen in the chat. We should say hi. Hi, Kevin.
oh, hey.
And he guessed it. They were like, should there be a prize if we guess who it is? I don't have a prize. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
Dory's the prize.
and I apologize for my meager background here. As we were setting up, I realized
Oh,
I
you
just
should
have
have
a
seen
white
it
wall.
before, though. Like, it's so much better than it was 5 minutes ago.
So yeah, I ran off with 2 minutes to go and threw my DVDs in the background there. But yeah,
But yeah, can you explain what is Mad Max for people who haven't seen it? And by the way, we'll go. I guess I don't think I explained this to you. We go no spoilers, and then if we want to talk spoilers, we say it. And I actually figured out a way that we're going to do it. So now, if we talk spoilers, I'm going to put Batman up here, and then when I take him down, there's no more spoilers. So you can like mute it, and then you'll know. Isn't that smart?
yep. It would be smarter with like a paper sign that just says spoilers.
I thought I was going to make like a sign, and I was going to do that 3 weeks ago. But then
yeah,
you
then
know.
you got lazy. Yeah.
I played No, I played Destiny. It's like that's basically work now, you know. So,
But yeah, if we kind of break down what Mad Max is, of course, it's an Australian film franchise. One of the few came out of, I guess you could call it like an Art Nouveau kind of Hollywood resurgence in Australia. Like the film business really took off there, and it did that with Mad Max. I don't really like the first film, of course, starring Mel Gibson. I think
as far as I can see, there's 4 like old ones, right? And the first
three
one
old ones.
of those,
Three.
and the first one of those is also just called Mad Max.
Mad
right?
Max, yeah.
Yeah.
Mad Max, then Mad Max Road Warriors, and then Mad Max Thunderdome, and now Fury Road.
Well, isn't Road Warrior? in that
That's
franchise?
the second one.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Mad Max
I
2
looked
Road
it up,
Warrior.
and I was considering watching one of them again, but then I was going to watch the first one, and on iTunes you could only buy that one, where you could rent the other one. So I was like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, I definitely would advise you to watch the second one, Road Warrior. That's
Also,
where.
and it's okay to skip the first one.
Yeah, because that's really the child of its time. I think instead of being pure post-apocalyptic, it feels kind of like it's happening in the middle of the apocalypse, because they still have like a police force. They're kind of still trying to tie it into the real world, and it didn't quite work for me. Also, Mad Max is a very silent protagonist. He doesn't really speak that much. A little bit more in Thunderdome, because he had to bounce off more characters. But in the first one, they go real dialogue heavy in the beginning, when he, before he, spoiler, it's in the description of the film, loses his family and turns into Mad Max. Now,
Okay, I was more worried about that. I had to watch the first one.
No.
Yeah.
I would
probably
I would
watch the
say
second one then.
read the back of the DVD of the first one, and then watch the second one.
Can I read the back of the iTunes description? Do you think that'll
I
work?
believe it's the same text, copy pasted.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah. But
I'll go for that.
if you're a purist, you'll read the DVD.
Oh, I'm a purist. I'll go find a DVD then.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah, Mad Max. What is it about?
well, it happens in the apocalypse. The religion is gasoline. They have all these cars, and basically it's a life of gathering resources, where, like I said, the main resource is gasoline. And Max, or Mad Max, he doesn't really. He's not your atypical hero, because he doesn't want to get involved in other people's problems. He doesn't want to, be the hero. He just kind of gets dragged into it, and then, okay, he does it anyway. And
it's that very classical character, actually, that's very popular. That, like, I think that's why people like Han Solo as well. He's like I just want to fucking live and not deal with shit.
Yeah, and does heroic things without meaning to be heroic, so to speak. It's just kind of like, okay, he happens to get into this position and then acts heroically. But the main thing about Mad Max 2, and I forget in how many days it was actually filmed, but like the final sequence, I mean, there's setup, and then there's one huge sequence, which is like this chase scene, which is just fucking amazing. And that's kind of what they lost for me in Thunderdome. They brought in another director. They brought in Tina Turner with an MTV music video.
Yeah, I've seen that that part.
You know, it kind of lost it for me. I could see where they were trying to go with it. Yeah, I could see where they were trying to go with it. They were trying to be more Hollywood, I guess, but that didn't quite work out. Now, they've been working on Fury Road for decades now.
And I just want to say, like, it's the same director, actually, right? Of the original.
Yeah. And I mean, this is also the director that did Happy Feet, and he did what was the other one? The Talking Pig one. I think he did as well.
Babe. Oh, Babe.
Yeah. I believe he did that one as well.
I think that's true. Yeah, that was Australian.
Yeah. Now, first off, they spent I don't remember how many years. I think it was like 5 years on building a 3D camera and a system to film it all in 3D, before and during the resurgence of 3D, when that was coming back. He kind of saw the wave coming, and he was like, okay, I'm going to make the definitive 3D film. So they spent, they bought these old military spec 4K cameras, and then rebuilt them into this rig. And they were trying to make, of course, a rig that they could run in the desert, you know, with sand and water and all that shit. So they had a contained system, and they had, I don't know how many different ones, because they made one for each lens. So they didn't have to switch lenses. They just switched the whole camera rig.
Jesus Christ.
But in the end...
That sounds like what Nolan is doing with like the IMAX cameras, where they just like, they have a couple and then they just rotate them.
Yeah. But and they were doing tests, and they brought in a new cinematographer, the one that actually shot the film, and he was doing tests, and they had a couple of meetings. I just watched the Q&A, so this is why this information is also fresh. And I think it was super interesting, because they were like, they had been doing this for I don't know how many years, how much money they'd spent on it, building like the actual 3D camera rigs and everything. And then they did tests, and it was like, it's too big and clunky, we can't light it, we're going 2D. And they just scrapped it.
I was about to say, I feel bad that I watched it in 2D then, but I guess that's perfect.
No, they were like, they went to 2D.
The Q&A, is that, did you see that on YouTube or something?
Yeah. I'll get you the link, and it'll be in the description.
We'll get that after, yeah, exactly. Links for everything in the description afterwards.
Yes.
Probably in a day or two, because I'm lazy.
Destiny.
Yes.
But yeah, they were just like, okay, we can't make the film we want to make with this bulky camera, scrap it, and they went for the Arri Alexa instead. And then everything is post 3D'd.
Yeah. All right. Did you see it in 2D or 3D?
2D. Because I don't see
I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird when you started talking about 3D now, because I was like, I think I read that it was shot in 2D, but then it makes sense.
Yeah, because it's like, if a movie is made in 3D and shot in 3D, I'll entertain the notion of seeing it in 3D. If it's
exactly,
I'm not interested.
Yeah, exactly. Totally agree. But yeah, so I think...
What did you think about it?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, because you talk about it, and it's great, and it's like, but it's very much from someone who actually knows, I feel like. So for people who don't really know, it's like, yeah, post-apocalyptic, this dude, there's a society, as you say, gasoline is very important. Water is really important, this thing as well, that they have at one point in one place. And then it's like, the main film, like, not to go into the story too much, is basically about, like, they go one way, like, in a huge sort of chase thing. And that's really what the film is about. I don't want to say what happens and all that stuff, but I had on purpose not really like seen a trailer or anything. I think I'd seen like 10 seconds of a trailer. I had avoided the game as well, which, by the way, I'm super excited for now, just from seeing the film. I really liked the film, and I think the things that I began to be like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Then I was like, I actually am okay with it. Like, the story, you're like, but there isn't actually any like huge problems. And then I'm really happy the way that they don't do it. I don't know. It's hard to describe because like there's a story and it works, and there's some like minor problems maybe, but there's nothing that really ruins it. And they just sort of spend the energy and cool shit. And some of it is not really my style necessarily. I feel like that's more your sort of thing, but I really enjoy that they just go for it. You know, it's not a film that's going to be my favorite film ever, but the fact that just go for it and there's cool sequences. Some of them are a little bit too much for me, and there's things I don't like. I'm a big fan of, but overall, I really enjoy that some dude just went for it. You know, and I had a lot of fun. And actually, the more I thought about it, the more I'm thinking like maybe I want to go watch that shit again because that was just fun. It probably helped that I was like going with a couple of buddies and we went for a beer and a burger and shit. It's a pretty good combo. Laos and other people who like watched me stream later that night will probably testify to that I was in a very good mood afterwards. People were like, are you drunk or what's going on? Because I was in a very good mood, and the film was definitely part of it. So much like many cool ideas and just really cool shit, I think. Well, what about you?
What you were saying about like not watching the trailers and all that, I have kind of a policy that I don't really. I try if there's a film that I know I'm gonna watch, I don't watch the trailers for it because I'm gonna watch it
unless you're forced to it. Like, because that's my problem now. If you go to the cinema,
when they show it. But here's the thing: I'm also always very dubious about films that have been, trapped in development hell for a long time, and that's of course what had happened here. It's been a long time. Still the same director, same author style, still in Australia with an Australian crew and trying to keep true to that, that heritage. But I was like, and then I saw stills from the first trailer. I was like, I have to see that trailer. And I watched the trailer.
I get that. I was close to it, but I've gotten really good at avoiding that shit. The same.
And then the second trailer came out, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna. But I watched it. I had to see the trailer because the film looks fucking stunning. Every single frame in it, I feel, is almost like a painting. But I've kind of taken the film and I've broken down what I like about it and what I don't like about it, and it's very separate things that. I kind of, if I would have to give it like a score, if I was put on the spot, I don't really do that normally, but if I was put on the spot and had to give a score, I would give it 2 different scores, because there's the score of 1 to 10. How soon do you want to see this film again? And for me, there's like a 9. I want to see it like immediately again.
Yeah.
But in terms of how good do you think the film is and how it will hold up, it's more of like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah,
because
I see that. I'm probably like 8, probably in the middle, and that may be like the reason that I have both as well.
Yeah, and things that I love about it is that, first of all, like I said, the look. It looks spectacular. I really like what they were doing with the story, the focus, which characters they're focusing on. I mean, there's been some controversy on the internet about, it's a feminist film, and they don't give Mad Max his props. But the thing is, Mad Max has always kind of been like the side character in the other films. I mean, they focus more on him because he doesn't really say that much, but it's about the other people and their situation that he is kind of, gets sucked into.
It very much reminds me of Star Wars in that way, which was inspired by one of the Kurosawa films where, the whole story of Star Wars is not about R2-D2 or 3PO, but those are the people we follow. We see it from their eyes, and that's very much the way Mad Max works. It's not really about Mad Max, but he's the person we follow around, and we see it sort of through his eyes.
Yeah. Now, what I don't like about the film is, for one, character development. I think a lot of the characters are pretty shallow, and like there's a couple of scenes, even with the very strong character played by Charlize Theron. There are a couple of scenes where I'm like, I'll roll my eyes a little bit. I'm pretty sure
totally agree.
Know which scene I'm talking about.
Totally agree.
There's one that really stands out, but the action is just almost non-stop. There's these couple of minutes here and there where you can kind of grab your breath and then action again. Normally in films where they try to pump the action endlessly, I get kind of tired of it, but here it kept me the entire time.
I totally agree, but it's also because I feel I totally agree with what you're saying, and like the character stuff is one of definitely one of the problems where, but it's a thing where because of how the other stuff works, it doesn't really bother me. And as long as the main story and the characters, they never go as far where I'm like, okay, I lose like everything for a character where it doesn't make any sense, which happens in some films. So as long as they keep that, it works. And then I'm like, I don't know if I guess that's when you start thinking about it, but it's the thing where like they just go for it with the other stuff that I'm just so enjoying that someone is saying, maybe it's coming from like people like us who could like want to do creative stuff and want to do films where like it feels like someone who just went like, oh, let's do this thing, it could be super fun, and just goes for it. And I really enjoy that. Like that's not going to be the best film ever, but it's just so much fun. And as long as the story and the characters doesn't ruin the fun, then it's all good, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And
by the way, Kevin asks in the chat, do you think it lives up to the original, or is it better?
That depends on which original you're talking about. If you are asking me if it lives up to number one, it surpasses it by far. If it lives up to the second one, yeah, I would put it in the same category. I would say that I like the character work better in the second one, but almost everything else I like better in the in Fury Road. I mean, okay, let's put it this way. I think the script for this film could have been on 10 pages, but the world Bible is like thousands of pages big.
Yeah. And that's why, especially why I started getting excited about the video game, because like this is perfect for a video game. This is actually very similar to what something like Diablo or Destiny is, where there isn't really a story, but there's a lot of lore.
Yeah.
And
although
I think
it should be said that even though the game happens in the same world, it has its own canon. So it's story-wise, it's completely free.
Yeah, and it could be terrible, and it could also have been great, even if the film was terrible. But this just seems like a world that I would like to run around in. I could totally see myself running around as a character with a gun, and just like this is a world where I want to see more shit, you know. And I'd be super excited for a sequel as well. Do you want to go into spoilers? Like, is there stuff you want to talk about more specifically?
The thing is, most everything that I would want to talk about in spoiler territory of this film, I think you could kind of see from the trailer, basically. I mean,
yeah,
it doesn't really have a deep storyline.
No, but I think I still will say if you haven't seen it and haven't seen the trailers, don't see the trailers, because I think for me, I was really happy that all the shit that happened, all the crazy stuff that I was like, what the fuck? I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, true. And I mean, but yeah. Yeah, if you haven't seen the trailers or anything and you're listening to this and you haven't heard anything about the film, just go and watch it right now.
Yeah.
Because
grab like 3 of your best friends and go watch it and have a beer and yeah.
Yeah. Because also this is a film that I think is not only in company but also in the cinema is where you want to see this. Because it's a visual spectacle. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is one of those where, like, as we're, I guess, saying 10 million times now, but like, if you go as a group of friends and you're like, I'm gonna go have fun, I'm gonna go to the cinema, it's perfect for that sort of experience. And yeah, I'm gonna try to see if I can go see it again. I hope it's gonna run in cinemas in Imperial in Copenhagen for a little bit longer, because now Destiny's happening, so I don't know when I'll have time the next couple of days, but I definitely would like to see it again. Yeah, and as you say, on a big screen.
Yeah, one caveat that I maybe should mention, if I don't know if maybe you haven't read the articles on this, but if you're a dick and you just want to go and see an action movie that focuses on, a man of principles against an army of people with no principles, this is not the film for you, because it doesn't really focus on Mad Max that much.
No.
And none of the main heroes really have, 100% clean conscience. And it is very female focused. I mean, the author of the Vagina Monologues was brought in as a special consultant for the 5. I don't know. Maybe we're heading into spoiler territories, but the 5 wives. Yeah. So it's and that's what I really like about the film. It is doing something a bit different. The focus is more female centric, and you're seeing in a world that is super. Like patriotic, the patriarchy. Basically, I mean, the main villain of the film is patriarchy incarnate.
Yeah, yeah.
Immortal Joe. And here we have,
And you're saying patriarch in the way of a father, not patriot, like
patriarchy. Yeah,
yeah,
you know, world run by men. And here we have women going against that. And while the world is super anti-women, the film itself is very much pro-women, and I think that's very refreshing.
And one thing I won't want to commend them for with that is that it doesn't feel forced in that way. It feels very natural.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about female characters in video games and in movies and stuff, and I totally agree with that. But I don't want there to be a rule that 50% of protagonists have to be female and stuff like that.
No, and if somebody goes out to make a film that is supposed to have a message, this is about women and strong women, that's when I start rolling my eyes, because you're supposed to make a film first, and the message is built in, not take a message and try to make a film around it. And I didn't get that at all with Mad Max.
Totally. I think we're just gonna skip spoilers for this one because I don't know. I don't think there's we could mention cool scenes and cool moments, but it's whatever. Go watch it.
Yeah. One more thing, and I think this is maybe the coolest thing about this film by far. If you have seen the trailers, and most of the stunts are done with practical effects. Like I saw behind the scenes, they have this scene where they're riding in the cars with the huge pillars, and there's guys on top, and they're kind of swinging.
It's what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they actually did that, driving 80 miles per hour in the desert with guys on poles.
And I saw a lot of it was shot in Australia, but they also shot
in Namibia, I think.
Yeah, Namibia. Yeah, that was what the fuck is going on? There was several times in the cinema where I don't want to talk in the cinema. I try not to. There were several times where I just out loud said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So that's my review of the.
Yeah, and I think after the first 10 minutes of the film, there's like I said, it's action, and then just a slight lull, and then that first slight lull after the first 10 minutes, I could hear the entire cinema go, "Whoa!"
yeah, totally. All right, yeah, dude, this every time I talk about it, I just want to see it again even more.
So, yeah, that's why I said it's a strong 9, almost a 10 on the scale of I want to see it again now.
All right, let's move on to and now it's more what have you been watching, dude? Anything? And I guess normally we don't go what have you watched in the last week, but if there's something you've seen recently you want to talk about, go for it.
I started and I've been doing this for the past month now. I've been binging on X-Files.
Okay.
And I was actually doing recently. They confirmed that they're making the X-Files again. I started, because I'm a hipster like that. I started rewatching the X-Files a month before that or something.
Of course, because you knew you could just feel it.
No, they're watching me, man. They're monitoring me. They say, "Hey, if he's starting to watch X-Files again, it's time to bring out the new shit." So yeah. And I'm halfway through season 6 now. Watched the first film. Actually,
Jesus Christ, dude! Are you sleeping?
No. I thought you knew that. I don't sleep. But yeah, the first film actually is way better than I remembered it.
Yeah,
it's kind of a TV movie-ish. But
what about the TV show? Does it hold up? Would you recommend people going back?
Yes, I would. The first 2 seasons, you can really tell that it's a child of its time. There was nothing like this on TV.
Yeah, but isn't that part of what makes it cool?
Yeah, there was nothing close to this. So now, watching it now, knowing everything that's come after it, Lost, Fringe, name it. It's a bit naive, the first 2 seasons. Then it kind of grows into its own in season 3 because they were more sure about the show. And then in season 4, Vince Gilligan, creator of Breaking Bad, joins the team. And that's where it really flies off in season 4, 5, and also 6. There's some weaker episodes in between there. But yeah, really enjoying it.
And what about from someone who hasn't seen X-Files before? Is it worth going back? Or do you think the whole thing we've seen, it has influenced so many things we've seen now that it might not be worth going back? Or
I would say that it's very interesting to go back and see where the influences are coming from. But I mean,
Do you think that needs to be a thing for you, where you want to are you interested in seeing where things come from? Or do you think it'll still hold up? It's strong enough on its own.
as just a TV show and as entertainment, I think it might be a bit too weak, a bit too old, a bit tacky in certain places if you don't have the nostalgia for it. Like, I mean, I was 6 years old and I was watching it when my parents thought I was asleep in the living room.
Yeah.
I have those sorts of memories of episodes, and I remember there's one episode in season 1 with the liver eating guy, where I had never seen a certain scene. I had tried twice, but my parents covered my eyes right at the end of the episode. I had never seen what actually happened until I watched it like 2 months
Oh,
ago.
that's hilarious. Yeah.
And I was
You
like,
should almost have done like a reaction video to that.
yeah, and the thing is, I was like,
I've waited 20 years on this.
yeah, and then I watched it, and I was like, that's it. That was what was too bad for me to see.
But I mean, like, I hope there's things that you would not want to see as a 6-year-old that you are okay seeing now.
Yeah, but still, I mean, anything that was shown on broadcast television back in 90 something in the US.
No, I lost you. Are you here, Dory?
Yeah. Oh. Okay,
Dory?
I can see you now.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Yes.
we're back.
Yeah, anything that was shown on broadcast TV in the US in the 90s should be fine for a 6-year-old to watch at any time.
Yeah. 6 might be still. I'd say might be a little young, but like maybe 8 or 9, but whatever. A lot of what was shown was okay.
Well, that's how I'm gonna raise my kids.
Yeah. All right. Let's just continue. What have you watched? I'll go down my list afterwards.
Okay, so here's the thing. While I was I'm getting an echo of myself. It's very hard to actually talk.
Oh, that's nice. I don't know if I can do anything about it.
I'm gonna drop out of the hangout. I'll be right back.
All right, let's see if that works. Oh, we just dropped out. Then it's just me and you out there. See if we get him back in a second. Should have the invite. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
Dory's back.
Still getting an echo.
Damn.
Can you try unplugging your headset and putting it back?
I can do that.
Even now, I'm tech support for you.
Yeah. How is this working?
La 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 la. Perfect.
All right.
So yeah, while I was deep in season 5 of X-Files, I was kind of like, okay, this is good, but it's a bit old. So I started trudging through Fringe as well at the same time. So I'm alternating X-Files and Fringe. So.
And like I've never watched Fringe. So.
And watching Fringe with the X-Files actually makes the X-Files better, because I'm like, okay, this is older, but it's better. I like the X-Files better than I liked Fringe, because even with all their technical stuff and all that, I like the X-Files better.
Is that because you like enjoy that it's the original, or do you think it's actually better for someone who hasn't seen either?
I think it's actually better, because for all the pitfalls that X-Files has in terms of, technology and they didn't have CGI effects and all that. Just the characters and the relationship between Mulder and Scully is way better than anything on Fringe.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't watch a lot of X-Files, so maybe I should go back to that at one point. That's definitely a show that I do remember enjoying the stuff that I saw. I'm just not a TV show guy, but I've definitely been catching up on that. I finished House of Cards. I think I finished that since last week. Yeah. I think I finished it then. Like I was
season 3 as well.
Yeah. I was missing like 4 or 5 episodes, I think, and then I think I watched them last week, but it was like Monday or Tuesday, so it's a week ago. I really enjoy that show. It's definitely one of my favorite TV shows ever, not having seen a lot. But it still ends up falling into my problem with most TV shows, where I really loved the first season. Beginning of season 2 was really good, and then it's basically been downhill since there.
I think season 2 was good all the way through, but season 3,
Season 2 was better than season 3, but it's that's where for me it started falling. Like it just gotten worse and worse, and the end of season 3 is so predictable, and gets not interesting. Most of the characters I like are either in a different role than what they were, where I liked them or found their, not that I liked the character, but like I found it interesting to follow them, or they're like not part of the show for whatever reason, and it's just not like it's weird because I know that you can't have a TV show. Probably, maybe you can't, where it's just the same characters doing the same thing over and over again. But it's the situation as it is now is just not as interesting. Like I'm not interested anymore. I still recommend watch it. It's better than most stuff, but yeah, it's sad because I really thought the beginning was super awesome. It's very few times that I've been really caught by a TV show, and that was one of them.
What I would recommend to people that haven't watched House of Cards is wait until season 4 comes out, read reviews of it. If it's negative, like for season 3, watch season 1 and 2, and then the first half of the first episode of season 3, stop it there, and that's it. You're good.
But that doesn't end it. That's my problem with that shit. Where like films usually end with here, there's like no ending.
Not like if you go halfway through the first episode of season 3, you kind of okay. He's got his dream job, and you just
I guess maybe I don't know.
You just live
I guess you can always like watch season 1 for sure, and then like you keep watching until you're like, okay, now it's getting too bad, and yeah. But yeah, I definitely recommend that. That is a great show. So yeah, I started. Then I was like, should I start something else? I ended up like watching 5 minutes of Agent Carter, the Marvel TV show.
Oh, so
because
good.
I really okay. Then I need to go back to it because I was like, I watched Daredevil, and I don't think that's good, but it was fine. Yeah, you're one of those internet people, I guess. Like, I thought part of Daredevil is fucking terrible. I still enjoyed some of it, but like so many problems. But then people were saying, "Oh, the other Marvel show was great." It's like, all right, I'll give it a go. I was so bored, so I maybe saw like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, I don't want to start this now.
Here's the thing. I think I can give you an explanation of why, and I'm very aware of this in my head. But on the other side, I don't care because I'm enjoying it.
That's fine.
But the thing is, you're talking to a battered wife here. You're talking to somebody that has gone through so much negative stuff with superhero films.
Yeah, I agree. It's better than most stuff, and it's definitely the best superhero TV.
Yeah, so and also, I mean, I kind of lump not Arrow. Arrow is fine, but like Gotham and
I haven't seen any of that.
And Flash and okay, let's be honest here. Everything DC does is practically shit. But
don't watch it.
No. But here's the thing. When I watch Daredevil, I see all the good stuff and I amplify it, and I see all the bad stuff and I forget about it. Like Daredevil's best friend, that actor, that's just white noise to me. There's no face there. I don't hear.
All right. Let's do like tiny spoilers for Daredevil, not a huge thing. Daredevil and that guy has an argument at one point over something. The way he just turns on his friend and all that shit makes no fucking sense, and I can totally see why they do it. It's because that's what they need the plot thing to continue.
Yeah, it's what it says right here in the script.
Yeah, but there's so many of those things where I'm just like, I don't buy this. And it's like character and plot. On the other hand, like the villain is fucking awesome. There's a lot of things that are super cool.
Fight scenes are amazing.
Yeah. I was very disappointed with that fight scene that everybody was raving about.
Oh, the hallway one, that was way overhyped. Yeah. I enjoyed it, but it had no business being compared.
I agree. There was a lot of cool fights. I think they went a little bit too far with some of them, where there was some stuff that didn't really make sense. But I agree, overall, a lot of that stuff was really nice. So I enjoyed it for sure. But I just think it's sad that we have to like fucking settle with that shit.
And
like,
then also with Agent Carter. The reason that I think that is really good as well is that it has a very strong female lead.
That was the main reason for me to jump into that.
Without me thinking, oh, here's a strong female lead. I just realized it like halfway through the series is like, oh, this here is finally the superhero film starring a female character that we've been waiting for. Because I mean, what the fuck is Marvel doing? Why haven't they made a proper superhero film
Yeah.
with one of the female characters?
Why isn't there a proper like superhero in the fucking Avengers? I mean, there's Black Widow, but like she's sort of a spy chick, and she's cool, but like she doesn't get a proper role, and there's no like, why is there no like proper female? I don't know, whatever. That's dumb.
But you also
yeah.
kind of get that in the later series of Shield, Marvel Agents of Shield, which I haven't seen the last 3 or 4 episodes because they tie it in with the movies, and I still haven't seen Age of Ultron.
Whoa! All right.
I've been planning a trip to IMAX in here, but I don't want to go alone, and I don't have any friends. No,
I might be. I don't know if I want to go again. Pay that much. I want to go. I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but like paying 180 or how much I paid for it, Danish crowns.
Yeah.
That's,
no, I've had some plans that didn't that fell through. So I think.
But you should definitely go watch it.
Yeah, I think I might see it on Wednesday finally, and then I can go back and watch the episodes of Agent of Shield that have come out since the movie.
Yeah. All right, but so you still recommend me seeing that like TV show?
The thing is, if you are interested in superheroes and comic books at all,
yeah, I am.
You should be watching.
And I'm enjoying that the way it ties together. I don't like a lot of the Marvel films as well. I think a lot of them are pretty bad, but I do enjoy how they tie together. Although I think a lot of it is beginning to hurt the individual films, that they seem more focused on tying it together than actually making a good film. But I'll probably get to it as well. The thing is, I'm so behind on TV shows that I still need to watch. I watched one season of Sopranos. I need to watch The Wire. I need to watch Breaking Bad. Shows I need to watch. So
yeah,
but for some reason it's so much easier to like. I can watch Daredevil if I like half watch it or like whatever. Then it doesn't matter. Where I feel like when I'm gonna watch like The Wire, I need to like focus and I need to like watch it. So somehow
you need to be on that motherfucker.
Yeah, exactly. So that makes me not see it, I guess. Yeah. Anything else you watched?
Yeah, I guess I can reveal a dirty little secret. I for some reason fell into amongst my regular programming, I needed a little bit nice and fluffy. So I started watching lip sync battles.
What? I don't. Is that like a TV show or something?
It's a show on Spike. Haven't you seen those sketches from Jimmy Fallon where you had like celebrity guests on and they did like a lip sync?
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Somebody on Spike saw that, called up LL Cool J and said, "Hey, let's make a show." So
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J
like
with a token female color commentator in the back has 2 celebrities on, and they do lip sync battles.
All right. Who did he have on? Who have you seen? Because that makes a huge difference.
Terry Crews and Mike Tyson.
Okay, that's a weird one.
Yeah,
interesting.
Stephen Merchant was in one.
All right, I'll watch that.
Yeah, because he is so big and lanky and kind of.
He's also like very funny in also a very different way than you'd think sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd imagine he was really good at that, actually.
Yeah, his final number kind of blew it out of the water.
I think he was on the Fallon one, wasn't he?
Yeah,
I feel like I saw him do something where
which is why I downloaded this, because I saw in the name. Oh, I mean, purchased it legally at my local retailer because I saw his name next to the episode. So
I'd actually watch that. Is it good? It sounds pretty good.
I mean, if you have half an hour to kill and you just want something in the background.
I mean, I'm a busy man, so I don't know, but maybe in between Destiny sessions, I could.
Yeah. When you click on, let's go to the raid, and the whole loading screen and the traveling and all that, you can watch an episode of lip sync battles in between.
I'm so fast at the raid now. I can probably push it in at the end as well. All right. Anything else? Like, it sounds like you recommend that for what it is.
Yeah. It's funny and It's just seeing the production quality on something so fucking stupid is amazing. I mean, like for the final number, they bring out backout dancers and they have
It sounds like
wardrobe
something
and
should be on the internet. Like it shouldn't be a TV show.
yeah,
I would totally watch. Like that sounds like a YouTube channel that I would totally watch.
yeah.
All right, I will go down a couple of things I've seen and hear if you've seen it. DC, are you watching Game of Thrones?
No, I binge Game of Thrones. I wait until the season is finished,
Smart move.
then I watch
Smart
the
move.
entire thing.
The problem now
it's a
is
bit-
that I'm caught up. Is that like the internet is fucking everywhere? I'm having problems some days that where I'm considering staying up till 3 a.m. Sunday night to watch it, but I'm like, no, I don't do that. So I get up Monday morning. Is usually I get my breakfast, sit down, watch Game of Thrones while I eat breakfast, which is not really breakfast. It's more like lunch, but whatever.
You.
And then, but even then, like if I just check Twitter before or Facebook or something, sometimes they're like, someone is like, what? It was like, did you like this thing happen to this kid? It was like, what the fuck? Like, so I can't even imagine how it's going to be. Maybe you will forget some of that stuff by the time you watch it.
Yeah, I mean they're doing it in on purpose now, and the thing is, it's a bit more dangerous from me now because in the past seasons I had read the books. I had a fairly good idea what was gonna happen, but here I quit halfway through the last book. No, halfway through the second to last book. So everything that's happening now is new to me.
Okay, but that's sort of interesting as well. Then
yeah, now I'm gonna do it the other way around. I'm gonna watch the show and then I'm gonna catch up on the books.
Experiment. I will say I guess I have never been the biggest Game of Thrones fan. I've really enjoyed part of it, and I really like a lot of it, but I also have some huge problems with it. And for me, so far, I guess it's like 5th or 6th episode now. Not going to spoil anything, but I think it had a slow start the whole season, and and I don't like. There's good moments, but I'm sort of disappointed. I think this is. I might be remembering wrong, but I feel like it's the weakest season. There's a lot of stuff that I don't really like. It's getting into some of that House of Cards problems where a lot of the characters and situations that I don't. It's not whether everyone fucking dies in Game of Thrones or bad shit happens to them. So it's nothing to do with that, but it's just they're in areas or situations that are not as interesting to watch. So
yeah, what I heard actually, and I read this somewhere. I have nothing to back it up since, like I said, I haven't watched the show. I haven't read the books that they're currently running on or anything. But what I read, it was like, oh, they're adding more filler, like either stuff that isn't in the books or they're kind of stretching it out now because also
the first episodes were very much like that, but I think we're getting out of that now actually. But
it's also like because they're catching up to where the books are. They're on the last book now, so I mean,
I've talked. We've talked about that.
To get that book out, and then, but yeah.
If they need to do like a prequel season or a side season that does something else, because what the fuck are they going to do? But the first 3 to 4 episodes definitely felt like this was like a lot of filler stuff. A lot more has happened in this and the last episode, I feel like. But I don't know. It's good, but it's just not as interesting as the good parts of Game of Thrones were, which is sad because I think the good parts of Game of Thrones are really awesome. And it's just like it's awesome that we're having superhero TV shows. It's awesome we're having a proper fantasy TV show where they have a budget to make things pretty good. Like it's not Lord of the Rings scale of sets and effects, but it's pretty good.
It's not TV. It's HBO.
Yeah, whatever. HBO is TV as well. Whatever.
I love that.
You know what? When they start making it Lord of the Rings level, they can say that shit. Until when they still have shots where I'm like, fucking TV show shit. The other thing I was gonna, we were supposed to have another guy on here, but he couldn't make it. My cousin, because I wanted to. He is a big Mad Men fan, and Mad Men wrapped up, so I actually just was partly to talk about that now that we pushed the show as well. So I just shortly, do you watch Mad Men? Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it since like season 3, I think.
Okay, so we'll do that another time.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it's not interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm hearing either people fucking love that show or they hate it. So I don't know.
It's
I'll
like, yeah, I
maybe
drink, I
consider it.
smoke, I beat women, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wear a suit. Hey.
It's way more. It's style of a substance. Apparently, it sounds like. But
Although there's that lawnmower scene made it
I
worth.
have not watched. I haven't watched 2 minutes of Mad Men.
No, no,
So I have no.
I'm being vague intentionally. I think it's in like season 2 or 3, but that lawnmower scene made it worth trudging through all of the other
All right,
stuff
I'll
just to see
take a
that.
note. Lawnmower. When I get to that,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
know. All right. Other shit I watched. I ended up the other day while I was doing videos, like rendering and exporting and shit, watching some documentaries, which I'm really enjoying watching a lot more of recently. I caught up on 2 documentaries that I have wanted to watch for a long time. Jiro Dreams of Sushi,
Oh
about
yeah,
a sushi
yep.
restaurant in Japan, and about the owner of it, and really good documentary, but I don't think it's as good as everyone else is saying, sadly. I think the subject is more interesting than the documentary is. I think, sadly, it doesn't delve as deep as it could. We get to learn something about the character, like him, the old guy who owns this famous restaurant. But whenever there's sort of a possibility to figure out something about his past, or whatever direction you want to go in, if you want to go more into sushi or something, they never go deep enough for my. It's very surface documentary, which I think makes it a good or like great documentary, but doesn't make it amazing. So I still really recommend it, but I was a little sad that they didn't like it. I think it could have been like a amazing documentary, but I
Yeah,
still really
I'm pretty. I kind of get what you mean, but I also think that is a question of access right there, because
partly,
when
but I
you're
still
dealing
think
with
they
a
could have done
senior,
something.
yeah, I mean when you're dealing with a senior in Japan, you don't really. I mean, you ask him the questions he wants you to ask.
True, and but like I know there would probably be hard to ask him about some of those things, but then they could have done something else. Like they could have like covered it or talked about how we're Japan, or something more, because it's just, yeah, I think it's too bad that way. But yeah, it's still really good. I really enjoyed it, and makes me like, oh, I want to go there. Especially like I didn't like sushi, and then I went to Japan, and then I started liking sushi. So I can only imagine how, like, if like a food reviewer guy in Japan says like this is way better than everything else in Japan, then that must be pretty amazing.
Yeah, I had the same thing when I went to Tokyo Game Show. I was like, I don't really like sushi, but there's only one vending machine at this train station, and it only serves sushi out of a vending machine. I was like, yeah, if I'm gonna try sushi, it might as well
It
be out
might
of
as
a
well be.
vending machine and a subway platform in Tokyo. So I got it like, how is this the best thing I've ever had?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that's true. We did go to like a proper place. It was like a fast. It wasn't like a good place, but it was just like a normal people. Like you stand up, go in, you're like, I want that. Then they give it, and the dude that makes it is like, and then he has this piece of art in front of you. You're like, what the fuck is happening? And then you eat that, and it was fucking amazing. So that was crazy. And to continue the sort of food and drinks documentary thing, I watched another one that I've wanted to watch for a while about wine called Somm, which is short for sommelier, which is the what do you say, the job of a wine taster, wine expert, hired by restaurants and stuff like that, and about a group of guys trying to achieve the highest like rank in that field. Since I think they started in 1960 something, there has been 40 people, something like 40, passing the test of the master Somm or whatever, and you follow some dudes trying to do that. Really interesting, like the fucking amount of stuff they need to know. Like they just taste random wines, and then it can say like what wine it is, what year and shit, or at least that's what they're supposed to do.
mm.
You need to know like every when you're in the world or something like that. It's pretty crazy, really interesting. Similar problems as the sushi documentary. I would like that they have delved a little deeper into some of the stuff, but still really interesting, and a really good documentary that I definitely recommend. And then I started watching another wine one called A Year in Burgundy, which sounded interesting, but that was super boring, so I didn't finish that. About the region of Burgundy, and you follow some some vineyards there and some people, and it's just that was very like a school. Imagine what you would see in school about wine. That is that, and then like random shots of the family's kids and dogs with music over it, like montage stuff. And I was like, why am I watching this? Like this was, especially after seeing the other one where you see how much knowledge there is. It's crazy. Another thing that was super fun was that the Somme film talked about how wine was originally from Greece and then came to Italy, and then the Romans like got it out to all of Europe, like to France and Spain and everywhere. And then the other film was like, oh, this wine thing is actually originally from France. And it was like, there was a lot of information that where they didn't really agree, and they both stated it as fact. So that was really interesting seeing them pretty much back to back. But yeah, I think that is pretty much what I've been watching. Let's see if my list. Yeah, of film and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything we haven't covered that you have you watched?
No, I mean, I also have, the same stuff that I'm always watching. Actually, there's one thing that I do want to talk about, because I've been watching the latest season of Community on Yahoo.
Okay.
And now that that's moved on to Yahoo, and it's like it feels like exactly what it is. Like it's almost written on set right before the shoot, because Dan Harmon is playing too much Minecraft and not focusing on actually writing for the show.
I can relate.
And I think that he's actually, this is my hope here, that he's actually used up all of his creative juice on the second season of Rick and Morty. So I went back and I watched the first season of Rick and Morty, and it is, I swear to you, one of the best animated series of all time.
I have never even heard of that.
It blows Simpsons and the Futurama and Family Guy out of the fucking water. So,
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
I'll take a note on that.
That and I would say Invader Sim are two of my favorite. Invader Sim for other reasons. There's more nostalgia there, but Rick and Morty is
animated as well.
Yeah,
Invader Sim.
Yeah, it's an older Nickelodeon series, but yeah, that's one of my favorites for like nostalgic reasons. This one is just because it's simply so fucking good.
All right,
and actually,
interesting.
Another thing that you should put in the description is the Rick and Morty couch gag that they did for The Simpsons.
I guess I will.
Recently.
Couch gag.
Yeah. In the beginning of The Simpsons where they run into the sofa.
Oh, yeah.
So Rick and Morty got to do one of those for The Simpsons, and it is fucking amazing.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that sort of stuff. All right, so the last thing I want to mention that I watched, which wasn't really a TV show, is, of course, I watched Call of Duty stuff. There was another Call of Duty tournament in the US.
Oh, you were watching this Sunday? On Game Reactor?
I actually watched 2 minutes of you, but you weren't talking for those 2 minutes.
2 whole minutes, and I wasn't talking.
Yeah.
Oops.
But I guess I could have probably watched both, because yours was like during the day, right?
Yeah,
and the stuff I watched was I think it's called UMG California, even though of course California is the state. Usually it's called the city, but it wasn't a UMG tournament in California. I think it was called Ontario, Canada. Not in Canada, but Ontario in California. Anyway, watched some of that. Only some of it because of the time difference, and they played it very like Pacific time. So the final was like at 4 a.m. or something Sunday night, so I didn't watch that. But watched a lot of it. Some really good matches. It was really interesting to have, like, there was a new young team, I don't know where they were from, who did like really well. And the team I'm cheering for, Optic, won again, which was really cool. And one of the guys on Optic won his 20th tournament, which makes him the most winning player ever. He won 20 out of 30. Previously, he was tied with someone else for 19. So that was really cool, and really enjoyed that. It's weird with that, and I just think this ties into like going into talking about video games, but I don't really play.
Most winningest player. He should get like a trophy shaped like.
I think if you have 20 trophies, you're good. Like, I don't think you need.
But I mean, you only need one trophy shaped like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, maybe you could have like one big one, and then it has like all the trophies lying up in it. But Yeah, it's really weird. I really enjoy still watching Advanced Warfare, like the tournaments. Like especially, I usually don't watch the first day where it's like the pool play or whatever, and a lot of the not so good teams are playing. But like the top teams, the semifinals and finals and stuff are fucking insane. What people can do, and this uh, the winners bracket final here had a crazy capture flag match, which went like overtime and down to the wire, and people who stopped like a meter before the flag several times, where it would have ended the game in overtime. It's like crazy shit, and it's so much fun to watch. And uplink is so much fun, but for some reason I don't really play it anymore. Like, and I've tried a couple of times, but I just don't feel like it. I'm definitely going Destiny there, so that's I don't know. It's weird, and it's become the thing I watch more than I watched a little bit of like European football the past couple of weeks, and I enjoy that. But for me now, it's definitely like COD is number one, and then NFL is number two, and then our football is number three in like sports. So I don't know. Have you, the other thing I wanted to tie in with this was I wanted to hear. Have you like? Are you watching any esport stuff, or have you ever been like interested in that?
I mean, not a lot. I have more and more been watching Counter-Strike Global Offensive,
Yeah,
just
that's gotten
because.
really big.
Yeah, just because. I mean, they're superhuman.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
insane.
I watched I watched some Call of Duty matches and it was like, okay, this is impressive. I could never do this. But then I watched Counter-Strike and I'm like, nobody can do this. Like the shots that they're taking is just mind blowing. So I've been watching that more and more.
Okay. Maybe that's why I'm like really liking watching Advanced Warfare, because for me, it's at this point, it's not really about the shots. What I really enjoy about Advanced Warfare now is the movement, and I guess the exosuit for that. Just they
Yep.
do some fucking crazy shit where like they move around in a way where you're like, what the fuck? Like it's hard to keep up with watching it. I can't imagine either being the guy doing it or being the guy he's fighting. Where I'm like, I just remember how it is playing Call of Duty, and like the way people boost around can be annoying sometimes. And if someone does the shit they do now, where they boost up and then shoot and then boost down or something, it's
Yeah,
like
do the
what the
zigzag,
fuck?
land crouched,
Yeah,
and
and they're beginning to do a lot when they play uplink and they dunk the ball. They usually do like a 360 while they go through, just because.
hmm.
And I was like, I don't what what is going on? It's so crazy. But it's so much fun to watch. Really, really enjoying that. Um, and then another thing I would like to hear your opinion on is with all this esport. I heard someone recently just discuss esport and there was a whole thing is esport a sport, which I got a little bit tired of. Um, because I don't consider esport a sport. I guess it's because it's in the name, but it's like why does it matter? Like it's
I mean, to me, it's obvious. It's not a sport. That's why it's called esport and not sport.
yeah. But then people are like, why is sport in the word? And then like I talked to my cousin about it, where I was like, well, it's also called pineapple. It's not an apple. There's like
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean it's called esport because it's a competition and sports contain competition. That's where it comes
yeah,
from. It's not physical, you know. Oh,
it's a different physical
this is
thing,
not
but
the same moving and clicking.
you can have that thing where like okay, you can we could say it's called this is also sport now and call chess sport and like what about archery, is that sport? That's physical but you're standing shooting, so whatever. But I just don't get why people are spending so much energy on discussing like that sort of stuff. I guess some people who are like in the US it's beginning to be on ESPN, and then maybe some of the older folk might be like, why do you have this thing on? I want to watch real sport. But it's so tiring, and I don't understand why it needs to be like, does it really matter? Just watch whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, when I see, let's say the NFL, because you brought it up earlier, when I see a quarterback throw a perfect throw through three guys and it lands exactly in the hands of the receiver, that to
Yeah, and
me,
he's going full speed for like
yeah,
us, like it hits him. Yeah,
yeah, he's doing a 200-meter dash, turns around and the
yeah,
ball is there. That to me is as impressive as in Counter-Strike when somebody, gets three headshots with a silent pistol from halfway
yeah,
across the map, because that's a superhuman feat.
yeah. But what if he had an exosuit? Think
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm beginning to really want, like, I just want. I hope they don't remove uplink, and I hope they put that in more like games. I want that in Destiny,
Yeah,
and like
actually,
shit like that.
while I was streaming the Swedish qualifiers yesterday on Game Reactor, one of the last matches that we had between the two top qualifiers was uplink, and they were going back and forth. It was a very, very tight and like really exciting match.
Yeah, I think that was the thing where all the pros, when Advanced Warfare came out and we're talking about what games we're going to play, that was the thing that everyone wanted out. Like the classic thing is we play Hardpoint since Black Ops 2, play CTF and play Search. That was the like. Let's go back to that. And it was like, oh, we're gonna have uplink in here, and then they ended up having both uplink and CTF instead of having two CTFs. No, I think instead of two Hardpoints.
Mm.
And now, like, I don't think it's as fun playing it but watching it, like, everyone agrees that's usually the best games. There's something having the final round, like the final game 5 or game 3, depending on how many you play, having that search and destroy, and you can come down to like round 11 there. But other than that, like, uplink are usually the best games, and like you have the throwing, you have like people going for the dunks and like the passing and some of the strats that people are beginning to. There was some at like COD Champs a little while ago where they started using like smoke stuff and people running around different routes and shit. It's so interesting to watch. I really hope we get more of that. I'm really worried because the COD studios are very much like we want to do what our thing. We don't want to take the ideas from the other studios. So I'm a little worried about that. But yeah, with that, let's go into video games. Anything you've played you want to talk about?
There's way too much. I mean, I was actually asked while I was streaming the other day. I think it was Indian Cobra, and he asked, "So, have you played as much Evolve as you planned on since launch?" And I thought about it, and I was like, "Holy shit! I haven't played more than 50 hours of Evolve. I haven't played it in a month now, almost."
Same.
So I went back and played almost all weekend Evolve.
Really?
Yeah,
That's weird. That's a game I can't. Like, I'm so done with. Like,
I really enjoy it, and I never stopped enjoying it. There were too many other games to play. Like before I got this job in the industry, I would have 300 plus hours on one game. Now I'm lucky to get like 20 or 30 before I have to move on to the next one. It's always fun. It's always great games, but it's like I haven't had that. Well, like you, the Destiny connection, I guess.
Yeah. Or in Bloodborne for me recently, I've put like, I think I'm closing up on 100 hours in Bloodborne. So I played that quite a bit. It's weird because I really enjoyed Evolved and played it for the first couple of weeks, and then it's very similar for me to Titanfall, where I really enjoyed Titanfall, but that died like very quickly. And I think the DLC fucked me over a little bit with Evolve. I bought like a special version or something, and it was like, oh, then you get the hunters and stuff, and then they came out with the monster, and then that was a separate thing. And it's also like, I don't know, there's too much where it was like I came in and then it's like me and another guy, and we don't get matched with anybody else, and I've gotten in alone like against 4 bots, and then I'm still forced to play the monster, like I can't play the hunter.
Yeah, that is
there's too much of that shit, and then like loading in and out and stuff, and then just as like all the people I play with and people on my friends list, they play other games, and it's like, I think if you play Evolve, you're 4 people or 5 people, and you set it up and play that, super fun. But there's just not enough people now, and there's too many of those like minor things that just makes it. There's too many other games to.
Yeah, I think they've polished it up, at least on PC. I didn't have any of those issues that I had right after launch on PC, at least, where I would, even when I was paired with somebody and I would drop into an ongoing match and they would give me the monster to take over. I was like, that's not supposed to be possible. I'm in a party with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're in a party with somebody, you're not supposed to actually get. And I haven't had any of those issues now. That doesn't mean they're not there. I just haven't, bumped into them.
But that's also why I think it's very similar to Titanfall, because Titanfall had a couple of problems in the beginning, and they did a lot for that game and did a lot of DLC, and I think some of it was actually free, and they made like different modes and shit. But people have just moved on, and that's why as I might have sounded very negative on it, but because I still I really like Evolve. Like the moments where I play with like my friends and stuff were super fun. But it's just like now other games are happening. Like I played a lot of Bloodborne. Destiny's coming out with DLC tomorrow. The Witcher is coming out tomorrow. Like I just don't see myself going back to it now, sadly, because I think it's a game that I would really like if. I guess maybe that in that way it fits better with PC, but if you could set up like a LAN party or something with your friends, and play that over a weekend or something, I would totally be up for that. But other than that, I really don't see myself going back to it.
Yeah, and
Sadly.
then, I mean, but this is also a thing for me that goes for other games as well. For example, Killing Floor 2 came out. I've been waiting on that game for at least 5 years or something. Yeah, something like that. Finally, it comes out. I jump into it and I play like a madman for 3 days, and I barely touched it since. And it's like it
That's
never
how
stopped
it
being
is.
fun. I really enjoyed it, and I would like to go and play it right now. But I know as soon as I boot it up, I'd rather click on The Witcher.
But it's also that thing where like you watch a film once or twice or three times maybe, and then you watch other films. You don't like you want to have different experiences. So I think it's natural enough that we move on if you have the ability to play different games.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anything else you played?
Uh, bu- 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 bum.
While
Hmm.
you think, I can talk a little bit about what I
Yes,
played then.
I'm gonna boot up my other computer and load up recently played on Steam.
All right, do that. All right. So one of the things that I played, as I said, I played a lot of Destiny. It's been really interesting to see how that whole with the DLC patch. The DLC comes tomorrow, but it's actually been downloaded the other day, and they had the Queen's Wrath event, which was kept secret for somehow. Supposed to come out earlier in the week, but ended up being there on Friday. It's been super fun. The world feels more alive than ever. Everyone is super excited. People are farming for shit that they hope turns into stuff in the game. And I'm actually like I want to play now, but I'm keeping myself from playing. Partly because I don't want to burn out. I don't want to like hurt myself, like have sore hands and stuff. And I know I'm going to be playing a lot tomorrow night. And then also, like I have prepared really well for the DLC. I've maxed all my reps to where like if I do a tiny thing, then I level up and all that. So I'm like, if I play anything now, I'll level up and then I'll get old gear instead of if I level up tomorrow, then I'll get the new gear, which I want. Then I also played a lot of Bloodborne. I played it like last weekend and Monday, Tuesday, I think, and then I've actually had a little bit of a break where I got stuck. Finished the game a week or so ago, I think, and now I'm doing New Game Plus and Chalice Dungeons. Really enjoying that. Some of the bosses are super hard now, and it's really weird playing some of the first bosses again that I had problems with, but now they're so much harder in New Game Plus. It's fucking crazy. And still, I'm doing like I actually did the first four bosses in the story in New Game Plus, and I've had them in their first try without dying. But they're so much harder than they were the first time, even though I died to some of them there. And then the Chalice bosses are really hard as well. Played a little bit again today and made some progress, but still enjoying that game a lot. I'll take a break from it now with Destiny and The Witcher. So we'll see how long the break will be, but I'll definitely go back to it. I want to get the platinum, which I'm pretty close to, and I will probably play more after that. Missing 2 weapons, 1 piece of gear to do a little bit of Chalice and finish the game again. That's it. And I'll get I know where the weapons are. Like 1 is from beating the game again. So very, very like close to the platinum in a Souls game, which I thought I would never do. So I was I'm going to be very proud of that. Yeah.
Although it's not canon Souls game, but
No,
I get
but
your point.
One of those hard games, I never thought I would do that. So have you actually played Bloodborne?
5 minutes, and I was like, this isn't for me. Just the intentionally sluggish moving around.
But it's not sluggish anymore. I felt Dark Souls was sluggish, but this is so much faster.
Is it faster?
Yeah, I think it's a lot faster. They've gone away from like the shield. I don't know if you tried it with like one of the big weapons, but one of the things I actually really like about it is that it's faster. I feel like it's not that thing where I need to. Lost of Shadow had the same thing where it felt very slow. Where this is much more of an action combat thing. much more like dashing around and like counters in a different way, which I enjoy a lot more. And a lot of fights you can win by like jumping in and like hacking really quick and then jumping out and moving around and stuff like that. And it's really interesting just feeling how much better I feel like I've become a gamer in general. Like learning how to read enemy patterns and just playing smart in general and like stuff like that it's crazy. And it's crazy how much better you are after playing, I guess, close to I'm probably like 80 hours at this point, but
Yeah.
after
But okay,
8 hours.
I got a screenshot here, so I'm gonna go quickly through what I've been playing like
All
in
right.
the last 7 days. But speaking of Souls games, have you tried Titan Souls yet?
I played at E3. I haven't gotten. I bought it. I bought it the day it came out. I haven't gotten back to it and played it because I'm gonna do it when I'm done with Bloodborne or like taking a break from it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that and Bloodborne on top of each other. No, like I'm not gonna be frustrated in two different games at the same time. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
one frustrating game at a time.
I finished it the first time in about 2 hours. And then I started like New Game Plus or Hard, and it adds a lot of move, and because it's the same thing as with the Souls games. You need to learn the pattern of the enemies, and then when you go into Hard mode or New Game Plus, they add speed,
the window gets tighter for like mistakes and for the moment where you can damage the enemy and shit like that.
Yeah, and fuck, I've been playing that for 3 hours now. I've just gotten to the second area.
Okay. But that, like the thing is, maybe I could play through it in 2 hours as well. But it's like I'd rather do it in a month or two and then be able to play through it multiple times.
Okay, you're frozen for me.
I wait like a couple of weeks probably when I'm done with like the heavy Destiny grind, and then I'm gonna jump into The Witcher. So I don't have this break in the middle where like I hate jumping around games and you don't remember how you control or what you were doing. I'd rather have more of a like cohesive experience that way.
Yeah, I guess that's the main area where we're kind of different, because I play like, if I have like an evening where I'm playing games for 3 or 4 hours, I play like 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, I used to be more like that, but I think after not working in the industry, I'm really enjoying that I don't have to jump as much around and I can play way fewer games and just spend more times with the games I want. And then also, have that more of a, there's games where I jump around and play a little bit, but the games I really care about, just like we talked about films, where I'm like, I really want to watch that. I want to set a time for this and really let myself enjoy that universe.
Yeah. Another game kind of similar to Titan Souls, I guess, would be Towerfall Ascension. Recently just got a DLC update, and I actually played through. I've only played it, multiplayer before, but it actually does have a single or co-op player campaign, and I played through both of those. The old one and the new one.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
I didn't finish the first one, but I played it actually in co-op with Rune and really enjoyed that. That's a lot of fun as variation.
That what that game needs now is netcode. It needs an online multiplayer update, and then it would be the greatest game ever released.
Yeah, I guess, but I guess it would be nice, but I still prefer playing it local, and then add uplink.
Yeah, having somebody on the couch next to you that you can, actually teabag, put your balls in their face in real life.
Yes,
that is better. That's true. I've played Wolfenstein: The Old Blood. I bought that and played it, and I actually hadn't played the New Order since we streamed it together way back. But I got The Old Blood, and it is so refreshing. Yeah. It's like this very old school type of shooter, but with like modernized mechanics and stuff like that. But just the soul of a true shooter. Fucking loved it.
I'm definitely gonna play that. I just want to go back and play the full game first. It's my plan. I'll do that at some point.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is like a prequel.
I know. But I'd still rather do it that way, I think.
Yeah, I understand. But it's like, not having played the New Order, I still felt like I played through this and I was like, it's fine. The only thing is that the final boss is utter garbage, and I felt so cheated.
Okay.
the
that's
final boss.
disappointing.
Yeah, because it's super easy. And I played the game on the second to hardest difficulty. I didn't go brutal, but
Okay.
I went with, I think it's called Hurt Me Plenty.
Okay.
You know, I don't remember how many restarts I needed and checkpoints, but there was a couple of times where I got locked in an arena, and I had a really difficult time of getting out of fire and then
Okay,
winding up.
yeah.
But that's fine. That's part of it. But then when I got to the final boss, first try, dead, right out of the
Yeah.
gate, and it's like,
I guess that's
fuck this.
all right.
This was what all the build-up was for. But yeah, still, I recommend that game. There's a scene in the second chapter where yeah, just the set pieces get changed because of a cataclysmic event, and I was walking around like, oh shit, this looks nice. So then I played XCOM Enemy Unknown multiplayer. I played one round against against the Petter,
Okay.
and I wouldn't say that I crushed him, but I won. Oh, that was fun. Recommend that. I started the second act of Broken Age.
Okay.
And I couldn't last more than 10 minutes for some reason. I loved the first installment. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood. I'm gonna get back to it. Try it again. And then, most importantly, and I can't believe that I forgot this when you asked me what I'd been playing. I started a run through Spec Ops: The Line on the hardest difficulty, on full part difficulty.
Okay.
Because this is my platinum. I have 4 achievements left to get on Steam.
Yeah.
And I will get all of them in this playthrough. The hardest one, of course, is to finish the game on full difficulty.
I'm actually really close to platinum on that. I think I'm missing like one ending, one other trophy, and then beating it on the hardest one. I've thought about.
I'm missing one of the endings, and I'm gonna, of course, get that ending when I finish it now. So
hopefully. All right. Anything else?
I think it's on sale right now, so everybody go and play Spec Ops: The Line if you haven't already. It is one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Yeah. But I'd say, like, when you say the great shooter, yeah, it's still a pretty good shooter, I think, but it's more of a story thing, like, that's interesting and does something different, for sure. I agree. It's really good. Yeah. Anything else?
Actually, I have been playing a little bit of Destiny on the PS4.
Yeah. How are you liking it?
I'm warming up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, my problem, of course, is that I didn't play it from scratch.
Yeah.
I've been playing it with like a level 20 up until now level 25. I think I am.
I think you're having to handle a lot of stuff that you didn't like get to learn the proper way. Is hurting you a bit.
Yeah, and it's just like there's so many words that I don't understand yet.
Yeah, and so there's also one of the problems for Destiny, which is not a problem when you play it a lot, but there's so many like currencies and just a lot of like mechanics and names and things you have to think about, and like systems, and this does this and like all this stuff. Oh, my phone keeps ringing now. That is I really like now, but I think it makes it really hard for someone to go into from the beginning. But I think actually more of the like 3-player, like the arena, more like horde mode and stuff like that's coming new stuff, I think you'll really enjoy.
Yeah. I have the season pass, so I'm gonna be sticking with it. I'm not gonna be committing to 20 hours a week, as some of the viewers of Game Reactor Live suggested that I should, in order to stay in Destiny shape. But I'll play it a bit.
Nice. All right. I guess I one thing I forgot to mention. I bought the downloadable Assassin's Creed game, the China Chronicles. Really love the art style. Really enjoy part of it, but it also had some problems. So I think it's nice they're going that in a different direction. But it still had some things that really annoyed me, which is sad. But I definitely recommend giving it a try. It's not a full price game. It's a tiny game for like. I
actually haven't played it, but I've seen some screenshots and a bit of video on it. Isn't it? Did you ever play Mark of the Ninja?
A little bit, not a lot. It's not as good as.
No, isn't it kind of the same concept, except with 3D renders in 2.5D?
It is sort of, yeah. But I think Mark of the Ninja is better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I want to say about that.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else you played that you want to get to?
Let me real quick take a look at this list here again. I wish more people would buy the Showdown Effect. I'm still pimping that game 3 years in now.
Yeah, that's still PC only, right?
Yeah, still PC only and only online multiplayer. So the player base is non-existent. Basically, there's like 3 dudes, and you don't want to play against those dudes.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody in the
Cool.
world go buy the Showdown Effect.
I mean, that's again, as you know, I'm a PlayStation guy, and could see myself getting an Xbox as well. But I like the console experience, and I think if that was on a console, I'd probably play it. But yeah,
It's just the way that the reticule works, and it can't really be ported to controller.
okay, like maybe you're right, but people also said that for like Diablo, and now I actually enjoy that more in the controller than I did on the
Yeah, but
PC.
that's very, very different.
I know, but it's like if they could make that work, then I would. I mean, maybe they could, maybe they can't. But I just say it's a game that I'm like, that looks interesting, and I think I played it once and thought it was fun. Although, like, it's also very hard if you're like new player playing against people who know what they're doing. It wasn't actually you; it was the guys who were making it. But I guess that would be a similar experience. But yeah, it's just I could see why it would be fun. It's just if I could play it on the stuff that I play stuff on, sure. Otherwise, it's the thing where like I'm not gonna like buy a PC to play it.
No.
Although like my computer could probably run it, but it's just I guess
go.
we're all we're all like creatures of nature in that way, where we're gonna play the stuff that we like the way we enjoy and we're used to.
For sure.
With talking about Assassin's Creed, there's a thing I quickly want to talk about. We'll see how much it'll be, but like this week you were part of it at Game Reactor. The new Assassin's Creed was probably announced, even though it was leaked months ago.
Under a wrong name, and some details were wrong as well.
I'm wondering if they actually just changed it after, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now called what was it called now? Syndicate now? Right?
Syndicate. Yeah, I don't like that name. I didn't like Victory either, because I think it was misdirection about which era of time it actually kind of happens in. But Syndicate, I don't get either.
I think a lot of the names for Assassin's Creed are bad. Sorry, but whatever. I think part of it looked really good. Part of it actually also, and the more I thought about it, I was very disappointed actually. Maybe it's because they usually show that cinematic thing at E3 that looks amazing, even though the game doesn't play like that. Stuff like the way the carts, what do you call the horse carriages, worked. I was like, I know the game is not done, and I'm definitely one to always say, like, remember the game's not done, be happy they show it. But this looked like that was it wasn't bugs that annoyed me. It was more like, I think this is how the mechanics going to work. And the way some of that worked was like one of the things where I was like, I don't think this is actually going to be that fun to play, but we'll see. You haven't been a big Assassin's Creed guy, right? How do you feel
not really. I mean, I played Black Flag extensively, but not the story mode. I just played as a pirate and raided ships. I only played the story mode to advance, so I could buy more upgrades for my ship, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm waiting for the big Ubisoft pirate game that they must be working on somewhere behind the scenes.
Yeah,
they have the ship mechanics. They have to bring it to a new.
I'm definitely going to go back and play Black Flag at some point, but
because,
I think
just how good those mechanics are, that could carry a new IP and actually make it big.
Yeah,
it would be enough interest to get it going. So I'm hoping they're working on that. But yeah, I played a Unity a little bit, but yeah, you're right. I've never been. I finished the second one though.
That's probably also one of the better ones.
Yeah.
And it's like I still enjoy Assassin's Creed. There's just too many now for me to like catch up, and that makes me want to play them less because like I feel like I can't fucking keep up. And I guess some people feel that about like Call of Duty or something that I play a lot. But yeah, I guess as we have talked about, and no, people who like Assassin's Creed could not wait to pre-order. So they're doing something right in that way.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's, and I've talked about this more extensively on Game Reactor, both at the launch stream that we had and also on the news last Friday. Me and Bengt kind of talked about this, but first of all, I like how they approached the announcement. They showed an extensive pre-alpha gameplay. They didn't just show a CGI trailer. They also, how to put this? I mean, there's a lot in the gameplay as well that I liked. Like you said about the horse carriages and maybe some of the when he's traversing the environments, I thought didn't look quite as good as it should be.
Forced in a way, like
yeah, and the environmental takedowns and like, but the focus on single player only, I think, is a very strong move for the franchise this time around.
Good idea. Even though I enjoyed some of the multiplayer, it just didn't work as well, and
it didn't quite work. And then they were also,
let's make this work is probably better.
They were also tying in iOS apps and all that shit, and it's like it was.
I'm sure that's still going to be there though.
No companion app.
Did they say that?
Yeah, no companion app, no co-op, no multiplayer.
For now, or
no, for this game.
But then there's also going to be another Assassin's Creed.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
I don't trust it.
Don't get me wrong. There's for sure going to be an app associated with the game, but it's not going to have interconnectivity with the actual game.
Oh, you're falling out now. No. Yeah, Dory?
Yep, I'm back.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, there is for sure, I am sure there's going to be an app, but it's not going to have interconnectivity with the actual game.
Okay.
It's going to be like, Candy Crush, but with Assassin's Creed figures or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing for me is just, and that's what I like, we shortly talked about this before. The thing for me with Assassin's Creed, I like a lot of things about Assassin's Creed. I have just been burned too much. I think the games have been too buggy, and there's been too much, and that's generally Ubisoft and other companies' problem, where too many things like are tying into other apps, and fucking like chests you can only open if you have the iOS app, and so even if I mean, I trust you if you say that, but I still in the back of my mind, I'm like, I don't trust it. I've been burned too many times on that, and it's easier for me to feel that way as well when I'm not as invested in that series as other people are, but. I guess also.
You can already see. You can already see the madness, or madness. It depends on if you like it. But with the 3 super special editions, there are 2 with different figures, and then there's another one with some other map and some other stuff in it. They all come with separate, different types of exclusive DLC in each one.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be retail exclusive DLC for stuff, and I mean, I guess it's smart business. They're making money off it, obviously. But I mean, I like the idea of being able to buy a game and get the whole experience.
Like they're doing with The Witcher as well. They just had a note out that I saw someone. I think it was in the disc thing for people.
Yeah,
they're going to be like 18 pieces of free DLC.
16. There's 16 free ones, and then there's 2 paid ones, but they are like 20 and 40-hour experiences respectively. Okay. Like they're expansion.
I don't think you need to do that. I think it's okay to do DLC that's bought, but this definitely is a different direction than Ubisoft.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. So is there anything you want to talk about before we end it? Anything we haven't covered or anything like that?
No, not really. I think that's about my geek quota.
Cool. Thanks for joining, man. It's been a pleasure, and hope to have you on another time soon again. And Remember to go check out Dory at Game Reactor. They still do awesome shit, even though I left. And
It's even better
yeah.
now.
Whoa! Let's not get crazy. But yeah, check out the different Game Reactor sites and go hang out with Dory when he streams the games and all that stuff. Anything I'm forgetting to mention? The website, the magazine,
The
iPad
website,
app.
the magazine, and all the apps and GameReactor.eu/live, 1600 hours CET, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Thursdays as well, and sometimes even Tuesdays. Was that clear enough? It's almost every day of the week.
Yeah, just go check it out. I'm sure you'll be able to find that if you Google Game Reactor or go to the Game Reactor site you usually use. Do you have any like personal Twitter or anything you want to pimp as well?
No.
You have a short film thing you should pimp if people are checking this?
I have a short film that I made back in 2010 that I'm still writing on the coattails of after it got a couple of awards.
If you can still write it, right?
Put it right in the description. You can watch the whole thing. 20 minutes. It will blow your mind, change your life.
And if you have 20 million to help Dory make it into a feature, he's open to the suggestions.
Yeah, we already have the script, like the title page.
It's a good title page. I've seen it. So if I had 20 million, I'd definitely give you some of that. All right. Awesome having you, Dory. Thanks for joining again. And
always a
thanks
pleasure
to everyone for watching. Yeah. See you around. Peace.
Peace.